And what's interesting is life sometimes has a way to take you out of your own painting. And so for me, last July, I was 27 years old. I'm sitting in a client meeting just like we always do. And I'm talking, and all of a sudden I go blind. And I don't know if you've gone blind before. It's a pretty scary feeling. So I fall out of my chair, and it takes a few minutes for me to gain my vision back. And as I gain it back, I'm trying to gather, what is happening. And as I walk, it was as if the floor was coming up at me. I hadn't experienced that before. So then they said, lay, and it was as if the world was just spinning and spinning and spinning. And I thought I was a healthy guy. And as a young person in your 20s, you think you're pretty invincible. So it's kind of this odd feeling. So for 2 weeks, we did test after test after test, and I can tell you 2 are better than 1 is awesome because the firm kept rising and kept doing unbelievable things as I was out. But we finally did a brain MRI, and they found an acorn-sized cyst sitting on my 8th cranial nerve. And they said, we got to operate. And when someone gives you that news, and then they tell you all the risks, and you're signing these forms of all the things that can go wrong, I could tell you it's a heck of a scary moment. It's a heck of a scary moment. And so this was me 2 hours after my brain surgery. I want to make sure you know something, though. There's only 2 things you think about when they're wheeling you back there. The first is, did you take care of your family? Thank you to all of you for doing what you do in this industry because it matters. There's people in the hospital today that are impacted by someone in this room. Thank you. That's all I thought about. But the second thing you think about? Your painting. What is your painting going to be? And what's interesting is, as you think through it, if you want to know if you're in the right or wrong painting, whether life does it to you, or you just decide to leave, get out of your painting for a while and then look back in it. I challenge you to do that. And I can tell you, when I stepped back and I looked back in, it became just like that kid again at 2012 that was sucked into that painting. I felt like I was just launched right in again. I couldn't believe it was still the painting I started with. There were colors that I had not seen and brushstrokes that I didn't even think were possible and styles and borders. I wanted to jump right back in, and they let me. Even though 2 months being out, the firm only did better. They let me come back. And even worse than that, in January of that same year, we had a 23-year-old have leukemia. 23 years old, and in 2 months, they said it wasn't looking good. The team rallied around him as family, giving up compensation to keep health insurance and driving 3 or 4 hours just to spend time with him, because this isn't about numbers. It's about family. In fact, I would say family doesn't even describe the way we feel about each other in our painting.